So now it's time for us to have, it's my favourite part of the day, we're going to discuss du'as.
And, you know, du'as are an integral part of our daily living, and we're trying to incorporate it. I look forward to this section. You wouldn't believe how much I look forward to this section. It's good to see you today as well.
It's always good to see you.
Salam.
Salam wa rahmatullah. Yeah, man.
What Julie got for us today?
This part of the day.
What gift? What Julie got for us?
Alhamdulillah, we all have gifts from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it's to be able to ask Him for what we need. And alhamdulillah, shukr, we have the blessings of actually asking. A lot of people don't know about this blessing, which how important and how much Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually listens. And the way you get blessed in ways you'll never understand how. One of the blessings that I wanted to mention is a blessing. There's people who say, oh, I can't get married yet. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, you get married and the rest is on me. Now this is, I'm giving you an example of having faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through these situations. Now, a lot of people say, oh, we can't get married, I'm not stable yet, financially. Okay.
Same with children. People delay having children.
Of course, even with children, which by the way, Rasulullah says is mustahab to have them straight away, and get married at a young age and have children as soon as you can, and Allah will bless you. Now, for asking for these du'as, when He tells you ask for these du'as, you'll be blessed in ways that you don't understand how. This is I'm relating the two together. Now, when you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for something, later on, that something's already been done. You've forgotten about it. But it's already been done. And then later on you'll be like, wow, subhanAllah. You know? Same way with marriage. When you get married and you tawakkul, you give your tawakkul to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you get married, doors open for you without even noticing. You're struggling with work this month. But subhanAllah, some way or the other, your rent has
contract
been paid.
Or something comes through, a new offer or something comes on the table. Yep.
Literally, and your rent is paid, everything's paid, and you're on the next month. You're like, wow, how the hell did I just pass that?
But I think it's you were talking about marriage and you know, when in my professional life where we're hiring people, we have graduates applying for jobs, and you think, at that time when you're leaving university and you're thinking, where is my career going? What am I going to get? What job am I going to get? And each point we get settled, and then our next hurdle comes along, and then we're asking Allah again.
The next crossroads.
Please Allah, now can I have a spouse because I've got a job? And then please Allah bless us with children, and we go on and on. But like you said, exactly that, when those needs are met, are we really stepping back and saying, it's only with the blessing of Allah? And the more grateful we are, the more He gives. He says, right?
Of course. And it's a stepping stone to exactly what He'll give you. Ya Allah, I want to get married.
Yeah.
You get married. Oh Allah, now make me happy in my marriage. No problem. Ya Allah, I want children. This is just a stepping stone to what He wants you to ask for.
Exactly.
So what do you both think about the chicken before the eggs? Some people, they will say, I want to put off getting married until I get the perfect job. Or is it that I get married and the perfect opportunity will arise and that it will make me more determined? I pray to Allah and be more determined to make it happen. I wonder what your thoughts are.
To be quite frank, I don't agree with let me wait until I have my right job and this and that and all that stuff. Now, put religion aside for just a second, okay? When you get married, or when you plan to get married, if you want to get married, and when you are getting married, this is commitment. Your motivation level goes sky high. Your commitments go way above the roof. This is when you start telling your mind, look, now we need to start working harder. And physically you start working harder. You start producing more. You're on fire. When you go to work in the morning, you know that you have a wedding that you need to pay for next month. Or you know you have rent to pay at the end of this month.
And the wedding costs are going up.
Yeah, when you don't have these commitments, you're chilling.
The walima's not cheap, man.
Yeah, it's not cheap. It's not cheap at all.
But I think, in answer to your question, I think it depends and I will bring religion into it, because I think every point we have, we base our life on our religion. If you're marrying for the sake of fulfilling your needs and security, then you will be looking at that job and the security and the house and payments. But when you're looking at gaining closeness to Allah, to complete your deen, those factors, everyone brings their risk into the relationship. Two people will bring whatever barakah they will to that relationship, and then you will build upon it. And then what marriage is actually meant to be is you struggling through the up, through the downs, and going and sharing the blessings when you have good times. And I think you know, what better way to start your life? I'm not saying you have to start in a difficulty, but this is life. You know, we're not talking about everything's always going to be a honeymoon period. So again, is there a need for us to delay just because we haven't got perfection and, you know, life sort of...
I think there's a limit. There's a limit to where you can delay. You delay when you literally are on rock bottom and you have a lot of improvements. Because at the end of the day, you have an amana from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Your wife is an amana from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have taken the amana from her family. This is an amana on your neck. Now, if you're on rock bottom and you literally have no options, and there's no doors in front of you, and there's no light in front of you.
Like clear avenue out.
Yeah. You know, when you graduate, you know that there is a future. You've graduated. Or when you're working somewhere, you know you're working somewhere. Okay, you're not making that substantial amount of money that you need to be making, but you know you're working somewhere. Your life is stable. Okay, you don't need to worry about other things because other things will fall into place. But if you're on rock bottom, you're like, I'll get married. No. You have an amana that you need to take care of. You can't just be on rock bottom and then be like, oh,
but then I think there is a lot of pressure on young men, for instance, who, you know, I know several brothers who are finding it difficult to get married because the requirements, and obviously our discussion wasn't about marriage, but let's just finish it here and say they're finding it difficult to get married because the requirement are, you know, he lives on his own, you know, he earns a certain amount of money, and I just think, you know, when you go through life and you have experience, you know, so life throws so much at you that both of you are working, you could both lose your jobs, ill health. There's so many trials that we go through.
You said about the brothers finding it hard. I think brothers find it hard, sisters find it hard for different reasons, but it comes right back to this program in a sense of why we need to pray on it. Make the dua, and then we put our trust in Allah, make the action, and we go forward.
And there's dua special for these things. You know, there's mustahabat special just for these blessings that you need to, you know, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help me in my marriage.
And so
Allah,
And so today's dua is not about marriage. It's actually
it's not, but it is about thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the blessings that He's given us.
Which could be one could be marriage.
One could be marriage.
Yeah, one of those could be marriage.
Rasulullah used to say this when he used to stand up. When you stand up, because when you stand, it gives some power to stand up. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, thank you for this power that you've given inside me. You know, it's just being thankful.
It's health, isn't it?
Agree, Allah, I agree that there's no Allah but you. You're the most merciful. You're the one who's blessed me with everything. Praise to you, Allah. By your glory, I bear witness that there is no God but you. And I seek repentance from you. And I turn to you at the end of the day. We are from Allah, and for Him we will return.
And
when we turn to God, God turns to us, right? And when we turn away from, like, what does it say? The ayat says about when they forgot Allah, so Allah made them forget themselves. So it's that kind of,
exactly.
You have to turn to Allah. Keep turning to Allah and He remember you.
So, brother, if you'd like to recite the Arabic for us.
Of course. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك اللهم صل على محمد. So this dua is actually very beautiful when you recite it. So Rasulullah used to recite when he gets up, when he picks up something. So alhamdulillah, for the strength that you have given me, I bear witness that there is no Allah but you. Just reminding yourself that there's no Allah. And
this is all still part of the mustahabs, right? This type of dua is
of course. But this doesn't have a specific timing. As I said, Rasulullah used to say it when he gets up. So either when he gets up from after the sajdah, he gets up, or when he gets up normally, when he picks up something, or when he, you know, when he uses some sort of strength.
I think it just shows, doesn't it, that at every point of his routine, his whole, you know,
being is
he's remembering Allah. His whole, you know, focus is on Allah, and even in this we could derive lots of, you know, is it the health, is it appreciation and gratitude, and you just think that he's remembering Him at every point, and it's a lesson for us again. Every point, you know, health is so vital. Without, you know, health, what life does, you know, what is, it's not, you know, standard.
And what because we have a habit, many of us, religious people not take things for granted.
Yeah.
And it's only when, you know, things are in jeopardy or things are taken away, then you know, you say don't miss the water till the well runs dry, because you know, we're just in the matrix sometimes. So it's things like this are a good reminder, a refresher to keep us on
People who
point.
are doing so well forget to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but once they hit a wall, Allah,
Exactly.
they start begging.
Yeah.
That should be always constant. When you're blessed, alhamdulillah, shukr, thank you. You know, give your charities, give your zakat, give your everything that you need to do. Don't forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why when you say this every single time, it just reminds you, humbles you.
Turn to Allah. Thank you. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because when you're praying for needs, it also the Imam alayhi salam say that don't pray to Allah and don't worship Him as a businessman. That you always, you know, as a supply and demand situation, you know, say that He's worthy of that. So for us to get to that point where we really do appreciate our existence and the health. So in terms of sort of these are sort of other du'as, but can you sort of give an insight into other things that, you know, perhaps you know that du'as that the Holy Prophet would recite, the different scenarios in the day?
So different scenarios, what Rasulullah was you know, walking, and there's people who throw rubbish at him. And this is so anger. This will soften your heart. Because you turn around, you say, oh Allah, I give everything I have, it's in your hands. And I can swear that there's no God but you, Allah. So when the Prophet used to walk and they used to throw rubbish at him and stuff like that, this kind of dua will calm your nerves.
So what about people who say that was in the Prophet's time though? That was because if somebody throw rubbish at me now, the way Muslims are, whoo.
No, see, yeah, but that's wrong. All of us are human at the end of the day. We can't control our anger. I myself can get angry sometimes. Everyone can. Everyone has this issue called anger. And sometimes anger could take the better out of you and take control.
And it can wipe your good deeds.
Exactly. But this is us as humans. We are petty in front of Rasulullah. Rasulullah's on another level.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, but right now, but what does he teach us? They're living and leading examples.
He's given us the tools.
He's given
We
us
use
the
it
tools.
or how we
Look,
use
they
it, but he's
threw
given
me,
us.
I was patient. I walked away. Now there's a lot of scenarios nowadays where
more like
us
road
Shia
rage.
are madlumeen. And Imam Hussein says that our Shia will remain madlumeen. Will always be madlumeen. Okay. Now, because even now, like how much are we being oppressed by a lot of countries? All the killing that's happening in all over the world just because they are Shia. Okay, and now this is nothing compared to what we are having now. Okay, over here, I might walk, and someone might throw a bomb at me, throw some kind of comment at me. It's like you have to just think, okay, people are dying. Am I really going to retaliate to that?
Yeah. So you say in a comparison, the Islamophobia that might exist in Western countries is mostly they're throwing rubbish, but it's just verbal rubbish.
It's just verbal rubbish, which is rubbish.
Yeah.
But you have to kind of just like shukran and just walk off. That guy will be like, wow, did he just walk away? You know, it leaves him with questions. But you've shown him your akhlaq that you've learned from your imam, from your rusul. That someone might throw something at you, just take it on board, shukran, walk off.
But do you think with these du'as though that the you know what the purpose that they're asking us is really about a morality, isn't it? How, because Islam is not just a ritual, is it? It's and then you just pray and that's it. You get up from your prayer and then you start going out to the street and behaving in an immoral way. So it's really about refinement of morals. And you know, you gave the example of the rubbish. It could be outside, you go and there's road rage. It's just how we respond to it, isn't it? And refining that. And it doesn't matter if you're the Prophet or in our meaning way.
There's dua for every single thing.
Yeah.
There's dua for anger. There's dua for every single thing you do. There's something you should. Rasulullah would always, you always see him mumbling something.
There's a spiritual counter.
There's always. He's got something. He's saying something. Like once he see Rasulullah with his mouth closed. No, he's always in ibadah. So I mean, before going to the loo, I will mention that before going to the loo, there's a dua. When you come out, there's another dua. When you go downstairs, when you go in a car, when you go on a plane, when you go on these,
when you travel, that's a
when
big
you travel,
one,
exactly. When you travel is a big one.
Is there a favourite one you have?
My favourite one
final
is
question.
See, with me, I go quite a lot on planes, so I have this thing I was taught when I was very young. لا تخف دركا ولا تخشى توكلت إليك يا الله. You write this on your seat. So you don't really write it on your seat, but it's like something you're used to. لا تخف دركا ولا تخشى. Do not be scared, knowing, and do not be afraid. For you have tawakkaltu on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
This is a beautiful one. This is about traveling, going planes. I dislike planes landing. So it's like when it lands, I'm like, ya Allah, ya Allah, ya Allah, you know? Yeah, exactly. So that specific dua, I always recite it, even when you jump in the car. It keeps you safe, I think.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Look at that. The time has gone so quickly. We can't get it back, but we hope that we benefited from it.
Thank you
for being here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Up next is Sister Masuma Jafar, hijab and